I'd like to talk to you about my, as the Jews would call it, my day late and a dollar short lifestyle, or that has been my lifestyle. Or am I just taking a little longer than everybody else? I'll let you decide. I'm not rich, as you can see by my digs. I'm not rich. I don't have any money. I don't have a college degree. All my certifications are expired. It's just me and about $5 in the bank. But what I do have is experience. I have a direction of where I want to go. So yes, I am a failure, and I have a kind of close but no cigar kind of lifestyle. I'm not going to bore you with my childhood, but I didn't have any money coming out of high school. I didn't have family money. I didn't believe in debt. I sure as hell wasn't going to sign a student loan application for $250,000 to get an MBA at a university or a private university or anything that I qualified to attend. My mother worked at a lunch counter. My dad worked for an oil company. We didn't have family money, no grandparents, aunts, uncles, none of that stuff. It was just, whatever was going to get accomplished was going to get accomplished anyway it needed to get accomplished. I'm just speaking for myself. So I went into the wrestling business, and I had a day job in human services. I paid for cash. I paid in cash for all my certifications for human services, less than $800 for all of them. And then got, just per diem jobs in human services for the next 10 years or so. And I went into wrestling and had very poor instructors, very poor bookers, very poor promoters, very poor mentors. But what I did get after 4 or 5 years was my stage name, JP Ward. JayPward. You can Google me and you can find all sorts of goodies. But that's my stage name. That's my company name if I ever start a company. And then from there, I went into glass blowing. Again, piss poor instructors, piss poor coworkers, just evil liberal hippies that just didn't know what they were doing anymore. They were more interested in being spiteful than they were being helpful and having good teaching abilities. But I learned distribution. I learned my business philosophy, which is manufacture your own goods, sell them direct to customers, like Goodyear, Apple, The Gap, that kind of thing. And that's what I would do. And that's how I learned that business to customer philosophy. And I would do that. That'd be my philosophy until further notice. And then I went into comedy, same thing, piss poor instructors, just piss poor coworkers, piss poor promoters, nightclubs, all that kind of stuff that I had to deal with, traveling. But I learned distribution. I learned how to make an episodic internet show, which is called the JP Ward Show. You can Google that. It's on YouTube. Bunch of them are on YouTube. 2 or 3 episodes are on YouTube, and Assault Championship Wrestling is on YouTube. Those are all episodic, products that are 20 minutes long, internet TV shows. I learned how to do that. So distribution on the internet, I learned that. And then I went to college in my 30s for business administration in the absolute worst inner city community college that you could on planet Earth. And they were prying on these young, poor black kids. They cared more about their credit score and getting them into, high interest loans and for businesses that were just never going to work. They weren't even, it was just unrealistic. But the banks got in there and got them to get student loans. The banks got in there and got them to sign loans for the businesses. And I learned that I'm a debt-free person, and I learned why I'm a debt-free person. Learned some business law, learned some accounting. But I learned that my startup is going to be in cash. And that brought me to now in my 40s without a pot to piss in. But I have a direction of where I want to go. It's just going to cost a goddamn fortune, you know. Had I actually gone to college right out of high school and got $250,000 in debt, and then, you know, got a car in debt and got a housing debt and got a credit cards, you know, would I be like every other middle class schlep that I've ever known and just be drowning in debt before the age of 50 with no end in sight, you know, and not necessarily doing what I went to school for, or at least what I'm good at, you know, and just be stuck at some BS job. But I got my mortgage, I got my car payment, I got my credit cards, I got my, I have no idea. It's not something that I'm going to do now at 63 because I don't have to. And I'm not going to do something that I don't have to do. I have to be productive. I have to hopefully start a business, but I don't have to get into debt. I don't need a piece of paper. I don't need a mortgage. I don't need a car payment. I don't need a dog, cat, rabbit, children, and credit cards. Maybe other people do, but I don't. And I never will. So there's ways about it. There was ways of doing things. It's going to take a lot longer and it's going to cost a lot more. But at least you won't be paying interest, and at least you'll be able to sleep at night.